Hello, welcome to our MIS 7650 Information Systems Recent Information Analysis on Fedex Express. This presentation is by Group 1 that includes Christopher Adair, Paul Banks, and Joseph Bell. We'd like to lead off with FedEx's commitment to technology investment, which was shared by the CEO and chairman in February of this year. Don't be afraid of technology and innovation in robotics. It makes people more productive, it makes goods less expensive, it makes life better. An overview of the presentation and who will be giving the individual topics is shown. Christopher Adair will be handling enterprise apps, leveraging IT and knowledge to strengthen business. Joe will be handling IT infrastructure, information systems software, and electronic commerce, while Paul will be handling social media and the SWOT analysis. Leading off with the enterprise apps that we glean the information from while researching FedEx Express. They took full advantage of the many systems that are out there, including ERP from SAP, as well as some of the largest CRM out there, including Salesforce, taking full advantage of the BI tools available between Power BI, OneDrive, and their communication systems from Cisco WebEx. We noted many other enterprise systems applications in use. They use these enterprise systems to achieve operational excellence, which is a suite of integrated software modules from common databases. Supply chain inside their system use these to coordinate planning, production, and logistics internally and externally to innovate at FedEx and additionally reduce costs. One example was found to reduce millions of dollars in downtime due to inventory management systems now being updated live by aircraft mechanic inspections. CRM systems can use the newly available information to build relationships, get access to what customers have needed in the past, provide new resources, potentially help guide customers on what they need now. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Joe so he can discuss information hardware.
So looking at information hardware, it comes as no surprise for a company the size of FedEx. The software infrastructure varies widely in multiple makes, models, and brands. These programs typically include firewalls, intrusion prevention, and large data storage capabilities. Something that's kind of unique that we found is a very user-friendly software program that FedEx offers its customers for free, and it's called the FedEx Ship Manager software program. It allows customers, specifically small businesses, to manage multiple accounts of shipment activity, create and edit customized reports for processed shipments, all the while reducing data entry and saving time for efficiency. Looking into telecommunications, again, as stated earlier, with a large company the size of FedEx, it inherently means that there's multiple internet service providers providing connectivity and communications for the FedEx organization globally. Within the United States, the telecom typical giants such as AT&T and Verizon are largely associated with covering FedEx, and while outside and overseas, typically falls on local foreign providers for FedEx locations outside the United States. Looking into system softwares, we'll start with database management systems. FedEx uses an assortment of database management systems, or DBMS, and relational database management services, RDBMS, with its usage predicated typically on applications used in a particular environment. Examples of these database systems range from programs such as MongoDB, Oracle, MySQL Server, Postgres, and among others. These programs' functions range from storage of flexible documents, monitoring performance management data inputs, and handling vast amounts of data across many commodity services, something that is very applicable with a company the size of FedEx. Looking at OP services include the Windows family along with Linux services. Something else we find interesting with FedEx is an interesting solution FedEx offers that is called the FedEx Compatibility Tier Program. This program allows customers to personalize their inputs, such as solution type and solution offered, method of delivery, billing preference, third-party integration, and so on. FedEx Compatibility Tier Program processes these inputs by the individual and lists outside software solutions that are compatible with FedEx software programs. Looking into electronic commerce, The recent COVID-19 pandemic greatly affected e-commerce, not just with FedEx, but also with its competitors such as Amazon and UPS. Recently, FedEx partnered with ShopRunner and Adobe Commerce. This alliance focused on customer-driven data inputs, but also integrated business-to-business capabilities that help manage company-level data. Recently, FedEx partnered with Dell Technology in developing tech hubs across the United States that focus on continuing innovative ideas. This time, I'll pass the reins off to Paul.
So FedEx has a big social media presence, and it comes down to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which they use for marketing. YouTube is used for advertising and instructional material. LinkedIn has marketing points, but is mainly used for recruitment. And then they also have Google Plus, which is used for brand building and professional articles. And lastly, Pinterest, which is for marketing boards that they put in front of their stores or just to have more of a presence as far as foot traffic goes. When it comes to their strengths of the company, you just have to talk about the scale of umbrella, the funding, and also the globalized sources of talent for their application teams. FedEx has over 600,000 employees, and you don't get that big without having strengths in those areas. They're also established systems. They have established systems that are proven to work. They put a huge emphasis on unified processes and technologies across the company. And with simplified global pricing and contracting, it makes it tough to compete with FedEx. And to add to this, the infrastructure and routes they already have in place allow them to continue to grow and become more efficient. Lastly, their leadership team continues to focus on technology innovation in regards to data and infrastructure, which helps them to not be left behind in today's digital world. Weaknesses, FedEx has a lot of moving parts and an enormous range of applications across the organization that it can create failures to communicate effectively to business partners and internally. Another weakness is not being flexible between the different FedEx brands, which include Federal Express, FedEx Ground, FedEx Freight, FedEx Office, and with those being different and inflexible, all these different companies have different properties and different networks. And also with such large infrastructure of technical hardware, it means that staying relevant requires a large amount of spending to stay up to date, as well as increased costs of having each brand of the company be different. When it comes to opportunities, I'd say AI, machine learning, and big data are three huge opportunities that can be used to optimize logistics and customer support and make real-time adjustments faster than a human could. And AI is the key to making security better in order to keep out would-be hackers. They also use their continued acquisitions to grow their system capability and, of course, add to their customer base. And when it comes to integrating new systems, the CIO was quoted saying that there was a point in recent time where FedEx was operating more than 2,600 distinct applications for its tech needs. And so there's obviously an opportunity there to merge that together and make it more efficient for the company. Threats, I'd say their number one threat is Amazon. And that's because Amazon has a ceaseless pursuit of its own brand, so much so that FedEx no longer ships their packages, and that happened back in September of 2019. Foreign and domestic hackers is also a big time threat because with a company as large as that, it's easy to be disrupted and it can mess up their logistics and supply chain. Also, the expansion of decentralized shipping from disruptive tech like Uber, Airbnb, who have initiated crowd sharing in economies, which could move to shipping and undercut the cost of drivers, which is one of the most important aspects of FedEx business.
All right, Paul, thank you. Leveraging IT and knowledge to strengthen the business. Leadership has focused and continues to focus on data knowledge and understanding it's powerful in order to grow internally and with external relationships. Vertically integrating their ERP and supply chain management systems brings value to themselves and their customers. FedEx understands their scale and uses some strategic vision to create gaps and difficulties in the execution of information systems, such as collection of data in a common central database. But that leadership team remains to targeting constantly increasing operational efficiency, decision-making, increasing responsiveness, and enhancing those tools that they acquire. Leveraging tools as a service for current new customers comes down to them leveraging their IT spend, innovation, and team scale, likely to create continued advantages and strategic positioning against those competitors we discussed. Accessing and making available the services to grow their business comes down to taking advantage of all the acquisitions they're having and allowing their customers to get their hands on those tools as well. Strategically positioning their future via emerging tech and acquisition is one of the largest strengths that they continue to lean on as an organization. I close with thank you on our presentation and use a quote from Milan Kundera: "The business has only two functions, marketing and innovation, and FedEx continues to strive for both."